It's exactly 8 p.m. here in Cairo. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the news, and we start off with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the National Youth Conference that is held in Sharm el-Sheikh. And we have with us on the phone our correspondent, Nile TV's correspondent, Linda Abdel Latif. Linda Abdel Latif, a very good Nile TV's correspondent, Linda Abdel Latif. A very good evening, Linda.
Good evening.
Linda, a very good evening. How are you and how's everything on your side?
Well, today it is the second day of the National Youth Conference that is held under the auspices and with the attendance of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Now, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi today participated in a number of sessions. One of them was on the relation between the public freedom and political participation when President actually
suggested holding a monthly meeting in order to follow and discuss the implementation of the recommendations of the conference. Now, President el-Sisi also spoke about and referred to the importance of the formation of youth committees in order to actually save the ideas of the youth. Now, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi also spoke about the importance of holding such youth conferences and spoke about the importance in being platforms for listening to the youth and knowing about their suggestions and ideas. Now, the president also said that the country is very keen in order to and pays a great attention and concern to the demands and the ideas of the youth, saying that the country provides actually program that will help enhance the capabilities of the youth, and the best example of that is the Presidential Leadership Program, also known as PLP, which was the first step towards achieving that achievement, or towards moving on with achieving what actually the youth need. Now, also the president participated today on the second day of the National Youth Conference on a session that tackled, let's say, the effect of media on the creation of the public awareness, or the creation of youth public opinion rather. And he also actually said, the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said that all forms of media have, or there is a direct effect, the media plays a direct effect on creating public opinion. So there is, as the President said, the media plays an influential role on public opinion. He also said that he himself is accurately following the media, and that the media ever since 2011 has been witnessing a lot of differences and changes, and that it is always developing. Now, the president also said that the country is keen on having an independent media, and that the best way to have or to deliver the media message is through having good media values and good and honest media values. Now, also today, actually the second day of the conference, witnessed a number of workshops that covered fields that include scientific research and education, political participation, as well as cultural identity and religious dialogue, as well as workshops on, let's say, entrepreneurship and economy. Now, those workshops actually tackled a number of topics. Just to mention some of them very quickly, for example, the effect of cinema in the creation of awareness, also illegal migration, the motivations of investment, as well as, for example, the application of scientific research in the industries or the fields of industry, medicine and housing. They also tackled topics on the second day of the conference, included as well the, let's say, role of Al-Azhar in the renewal of the religious dialogue, besides other topics as well that are of concern and interest to the youth.
Linda Abdelatif, Nile TV's correspondent at the site of the National Youth Conference at Sharm el-Sheikh. Thank you so much for your minute-by-minute update of the recent ongoings on what's going on at the conference, and we thank you so much. And we move on with the news bulletin, where the National Youth Conference continues its activities for the second day on Wednesday with the attendance of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The president called for all media outlets to be accurate in dealing with news and reports related to external and internal affairs. El-Sisi stressed that the country is keen on maintaining the independence of all media outlets. El-Sisi made the statement in a forum that was held to tackle the media impact on the public opinion of Egypt's youth on the sideline of the youth conference. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi participated on Wednesday with 3,000 young people in a marathon in Sharm el-Sheikh on the sideline of the National Youth Conference. El-Sisi said in his address to the youth at the end of the marathon that Egyptians seek peace, security, stability, building and construction, as well as combating terrorism and violence. He also said that Egypt is the cradle of civilization and a peacemaker. He added that this marathon came as the message of peace to the world. The president also inspected with the Minister of Culture, Helmi Namnam, an art exhibition on the sidelines of the conference. And in his meeting with a number of youths on the sidelines of the National Youth Conference, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said that Egypt will face all challenges, but this time will require more time. He said that all categories of the society have the right to live a decent life. He also went on to say that youths from the bridge that connect between the country and the people, and that their demands are respected. He also renewed his call to all member youths in Parliament to play a vital role in aiding young people to be nominated in the local elections and to encourage parties to play the same role. And as part of his activities on the sidelines of the National Youth Conference, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi also attended a session to discuss the participation of youths in Egypt's political life. The president called on forming a number of groups to follow up the cases of arrested youths who are not involved in violent attacks and who have not got a judicial ruling yet. He added that he will approve all recommendations presented by those groups according to the law. Meanwhile, in another session entitled New Vision for Education, President el-Sisi asserted the importance of creating a new strategy for educational development, considering the challenges that are facing the country. The president also called for creating untraditional means to solve problems and challenges that the educational process is facing, stressing on the importance of character building alongside an education. Nile TV's correspondent Linda Abdelatif also conducted the following interview with Dr. Hussein Amin, Professor of Journalism and Mass Communication at the American University in Cairo. The interview in full.
Joined right now by Dr. Hussein Amin, who's a professor of journalism and mass communication at the American University in Cairo. Dr. Hussein, thank you so much for joining us today on Nile TV Tonight.
My pleasure.
Could you please give us like an overview on the workshop that you participated in yesterday on media and the other workshop that you will be participating in today as well?
Yesterday's workshop was on the media and development, and I was joined with some scholars who participated in the workshop and give some thoughtful ideas regarding the use of media in development. My contribution was about the how young generations can easily access and convey success stories from different parts of Egypt whether this successful cases were about providing service in the rural communities or about products. The most important thing is when the youth get together and produce something or do something meaningful, we would like very much to have this seen, whether through videos, YouTube, or through a blog, or through social media, Facebook and Twitter, because we know that they can really talk about their projects much more than we are. The other thing, of course, the other perspective has to do with the state uh, national campaigns of awareness regarding health and sanitation, regarding political participation, regarding education, culture, and the like.
And how influential do you see the media on shaping awareness and shaping ideologies?
A good question, because I think that the developmental model is suffering right now in this incredible number of networks that are offering entertainment instead of meaningful programs. So nobody actually is paying attention to what is the developmental model in the media right now. But most people are looking into this model as if it's something from the past. And therefore, we are providing them with some examples that to make this model survive. Example about the use of infotainment and the use of edutainment, and both are new concepts that are implemented in providing the audiences with programs, movies, documentaries, or soap operas. But you know, there are messages directly, carefully designed to approach and touch on the target as well as the general audiences. So we talked about this also yesterday, and I think there are some wonderful opportunities when you talk about traditional media as well as the new media together. Approaches that has to do with introduction of concepts and the campaigns on traditional media and the continuation of these campaigns over social media to maximize the reach of the target as the general audiences. As for today, the second part of your question, we're going to talk about public opinion and media and public opinion, especially for the youth. I think that a lot to be said in this respect, because the region itself, it's suffering from failed states, civil wars. In Egypt, we have war on terror. In addition to, over the past 10 years, instead of having number of channels, we have now satellite broadcasting with over, in Nilesat alone, 1,280 channels. We have 5 groups of satellites over the state of Egypt, so, and they reach Egyptians. And they have content that, whether we like it or not, there are certain concerns regarding this kind of concepts. In addition to the introduction of social media, you know, Facebook 10 years ago, 9 years ago actually, was just started and gained incredible success. And right now, with the rest of the social media, are good part of the media scene. They did not come alone with major appeals that deals with interactivity and immediacy, but also they brought with them concept had to do with citizen journalism, and this concept became very popular because everybody now is a media person, so they contribute and they express views, ideas, and opinions. These are, in general, good if they are really put within the frame of national interest.
And on the sidelines of the National Youth Conference, Nile TV's correspondent Linda Abdelatif conducted the following interview with Dr. Midhat Al-Adl, a writer the following interview in full.
Joined right now by the well-known writer and author, Dr. Midhat Ilal. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today on Al TV International.
You're welcome anytime.
Could you please talk to us a little bit more about the workshop that you will be participating in?
The first workshop was about cinema. How does it affect the people, the youth? It was very nice. I have many guests. Ahmad Murad, a very good writer, and also Marwan Hamid is a very important director. But I think the time was not enough to discuss all the problems of cinema. But I think this is just a station on the way, if we can say. And another one was about what happened to the Egyptian. It is a very important book by Dr. Galal Amin. It was another one, and it was very important as well. And then I will have another one about the renovation of Islam, how to talk to people, because the people was, what you can call it, after Muslim Brotherhood, the people, they was choked by the shape of the Muslim, by the thoughts of them. So we are talking about how to renovate the Islamic speech.
Regarding the previous workshops that you've mentioned, how engaged did you find the youth during this workshop?
I think when I come to the conference yesterday, I said it's like many conferences I have been in many times before. But today I feel very ambitious. I feel I want to do something for the people. I found the people. I want to share many workshops, not only the one for me. I have to, but for the time being, I have been in 3 and 4, and I will be all the day in this workshop. I think this is very important to show people, young people, our experience in life. So I really feel very satisfied with the conference and with the workshop.
Now, as a famous writer and author, how influential do you find literature in shaping the opinions of people in general and youth in particular?
Literature, yes. It was very effective during the 40s and 50s because we have a very great writers like Taha Hussein, and also the people, you're ready to accept new liberal thoughts about. But now the book has been, yes. So I think cinema has been the good medium, the good medium to go to the people more than the book. Okay, book for the Arabs is something in the 3rd degree after drama and after cinema.
So how can we get them back to get interested more in?
It happened now by some new authors like Ahmad Murad is in the bestsellers, but I think we need more because it's not just about the bestseller, but how about what's inside the bestseller? Is it value or something just quantitative that we want to achieve and to work for?
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us today on Al TV.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, Linda Abdulatif, our correspondent at Sharm el-Sheikh on the sidelines of the National Youth Conference. And we move on with the 7th annual retreat of special envoys and mediators on the promotion of peace, security and stability that convened in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh on Wednesday. The 2-day retreat focuses on mediation practices in contemporary wars. The 26th retreat, organized by the African Union in Egypt, falls within the framework of a series of initiatives aims at silencing the guns in Africa by the year 2020. We have with us from Sharm el-Sheikh, Nile TV's Mona Swelam, to update us on the significance of the retreat. Very good evening, Mona.
Hello, Rana.
How are you? And what was the focus of the opening ceremony, which was open to the press, Mona?
Now, the 7th annual retreat hosted by Egypt builds on a similar event held in 2015 in Namibia, during which participants discussed terrorism, mediation, and armed groups. The opening ceremony started at 9 a.m. Cairo local time today in Sharm el-Sheikh, the city of peace. It included a keynote address delivered by Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry on behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The opening ceremony also included keynote speakers like AU Commissioner for Peace and Security Ismail Shergi, as well as United Nations Under-Secretary General and Special Representative of the Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Mohammed Ibn Chambas. The rest of the day included closed sessions. Now, the speakers focused on how the current conflict landscape is increasingly complex, with a multiplicity of conflict types, actors, dynamics, as well as different motives. And the political motives are often mixed with extremist ideologies. They agreed that this challenges the existing norms and approaches to peacemaking and peacekeeping. Accordingly, they stressed the need to explore new and creative tools and approaches to resolve conflicts peacefully and non-violently. They reflected on the current challenges surrounding mediation and preventive diplomacy. They focused on Africa's conflict resolution experiences, relating this to those from across the globe. The speakers also considered experiences, challenges, and opportunities of mediation in addressing both conventional armed conflicts and conflicts involving armed actors such as criminal gangs, violent extremists, and terrorists. And tomorrow, Thursday, the sessions will shed more light on emerging challenges for mediation and will provide case studies. UN Special Envoy of the Secretary General for Yemen, Ambassador Ismail Wild Sheikh Ahmed, will be speaking in the 9 a.m. session titled Global Practices and Experiences on Mediation. Rana?
Yes, Mona? Mona Sweram, our correspondent at Sharm el-Sheikh at the 7th annual retreat of special envoys and mediators on the promotion of peace, security, and stability. We thank you so much for your very, very expanded coverage of the happenings at and whereabouts of what's taking place at the conference. Thank you so much, Mona. And we move on with the news.